Good evening. An Australian is now among the dead in the Los Angeles wildfire crisis, where flames are again being whipped up by strengthening winds. 11 people have now died. That number still expected to climb. The threat far from over. In fact, there have just been new evacuation orders. Any hopes of a break in the conditions dashed with strong winds to last for days. Our reporters are in the fire zone. Isabel Mullen begins our coverage.
Like a volcano, the Santa Monica Mountains, and roaring into hell, a lone Chinook on the attack, delivering a spray that just seems to evaporate. The chopper getting out of the way before a huge eruption.
It looks like a truck that is now catching on fire there.
The Santa Ana winds flaring the inferno into a massive flamethrower, destroying everything in its way.
We saw a couple of firefighters on foot running away.
There are hectares of flame, but fire tacticians have a plan.
There is fire retardant along all of these fire roads, and they are hoping that this fire behaves accordingly and stays within that box.
LA is ringed by flame and covered with smoke, some of the fires only partially contained. The aerial bombardment is relentless, chemical retardant dumped by the ton, but against kilometres and kilometres of fire fronts, the fight back seems almost hopeless. Beyond the flames, the fire victims, those who've lost everything or have been evacuated with no way of getting food or other essentials. Charities banding together, handing out supplies and hope.
I see a lot of my neighbors, a lot of friends. It's terrible.
It's like a nuclear bomb or something has gone off there.
Brisbane expat Angela renovated her 100-year-old home. It's now ashes, only the chimney stands.
Yeah, it was just like my whole childhood, all my memories, everything.
Making a surprise appearance, Harry and Meghan. The royals live in California, about 160 kilometres from here. They've reportedly opened their Montecito mansion to evacuated friends.
I mean, that's crazy.
This is what actor Mel Gibson came home to.
You know, it is obviously, it's kind of devastating. It's emotional. You know, you live there for a long time and you had all your stuff. I've been relieved from the burden of my stuff because it's all in cinders.
Paris Hilton posted this of her home. Let this be a reminder, she writes, to hold your loved ones close. Cherish the moments. Life can change in an instant. The scale of those losses is unimaginable. All this has to be accounted for, cleared, carted away, then rebuilt. For those with insurance, the payouts are expected to exceed 30 billion Australian dollars. But the blaze hasn't destroyed everything. In the rubble, a moment of joy.
This is my wedding ring that I was actually married with. This is his wedding ring.
This fight is far from over. Just looking after weary firefighters is now becoming an issue.
Fire crews from across the United States are taking refuge here, getting desperately needed rest as they continue to battle one of the worst blazes Los Angeles has ever seen.
We've still got a long way to go.
The President, in a special briefing, concerned about winds picking up.
We expect they'll remain a threat until early next week. So we're going to keep working 24/7.
In another blow, a Super Scooper firefighting aircraft has been knocked out of service after being struck by a drone, just when they need all the help they can get.
Well, let's go live to Isabel Mullen now there in Los Angeles. Izzy, we're learning just now that an Australian's confirmed among the dead.
Yes, we are, Michael. Just devastating news out of Los Angeles tonight. We've heard that a 32-year-old Australian man was caught up in the Malibu fires who suffered from cerebral palsy. His name was Rory Sykes, and tonight I have a statement from his mother, Shelley. I'll read a little bit of it to you. She says, "It is with great sadness that I have to announce the death of my beautiful son, Rory Sykes, to the Malibu fires yesterday. I'm totally heartbroken, British-born Australian, living in America, a wonderful son and a gift." Rory Sykes was born blind with cerebral palsy and had difficulty walking. He had overcome many surgeries and therapies to regain his sight and to be able to learn to walk again. So just heartbreaking news there for that family as they deal with this immense loss. We're certainly thinking of them tonight. Michael.
Indeed we are. Isabel, thank you very much for that. Let's now go to Ashley Mullaney in the Palisades on the other side of Los Angeles there. The residents, as you've been with today, are coming home to find exactly what they've lost.
Michael, there is heartache here tonight, but there is anger too about why firefighter budgets had been cut, why hydrants ran dry. Local leaders are now facing a political firestorm. And for the Aussies who call the Palisades home, it is a daunting task to try to rebuild. Returning home to a hellscape.
Like, this is just unbelievable.
Around every corner, nothing but devastation.
That's still firing there, look.
Perth's Jay Barron arrives to a neighbourhood barely recognisable.
This is my place here, which is just insane.
There's simply nothing left of the dream home they'd just finished renovating.
Oh, man.
Like thousands in this suburb, there's a deep sense of loss and disbelief.
How do we get out?
This is Jay's street the day the inferno closed in. The difference between life and death was a matter of minutes. The ferocious flames captured on his home security camera.
We couldn't save it in time.
His family has lived here for 3 years, Jay building his business, Pedal Mafia, and the Great American Dream.
We don't have a home, which is just, my stomach is just sinking. I've got 30-something employees that need me to be strong. My kids need me to be strong.
Among the staggering loss of homes in this coastal enclave, we meet Will Schwartfeger.
So, Will, this is your parents' house, is that right?
Yes.
This has been his home his whole life.
I don't know what to feel now that I've seen it. It's surreal. It doesn't really feel real. So I don't know what to think.
David Hill's property survived, but the community he's called home for 30 years is decimated.
Everyone's hurting, and so therefore everyone's going to be starting to point blame.
Grief is quickly turning to anger, and no one's more upset than the state's fire chief, whose budget was slashed by $17 million.
Was the budget cut, Chief?
Yes, it was cut, and it did impact our ability to provide service.
Did they fail you?
Yes.
It was only 6 months ago California sweltered through its hottest month on record. That's when insurers started cancelling plans, leaving thousands of these homeowners without cover. Like so many, Jay's insurance was stripped back. He may no longer have a home in LA, but it still holds a piece of his heart.
It's got your celebrities, it's got your, your music guys. I'm just a normal guy who built a business. And, living here, you felt like a normal person.
Life here now feels anything but normal. In the Palisades, Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.